The heavy rains that we've had for the last week or so have gone away, although they may be coming back next week. We don't really know for sure. So what I've done is I've packed one lens, the 7.5mm fisheye, and I'm going to do some wandering around town and try and get some images with just this lens. Probably black and white, but I'll remain open to possibilities. I hope you'll enjoy the video. If you do, and you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe before you go. Hi everyone, thanks for joining me again. So the heavy rains and flooding that we've had over the last week or so have actually gone away now, although there is still the possibility they could come back in a few days' time. The weather forecasters don't seem to be too sure. We've had a couple of days of good weather, but that's coincided with me needing to be doing other things, so I haven't really had the chance to get out and do the photography that I wanted to do. And I've only got a little bit of time available today, and tomorrow I'm busy with other stuff as well. So I've decided to come out and do another local photo shoot this afternoon. I've done a lot of local stuff recently, and there's actually a very good reason for that. What you're going to see in a few weeks' time is a big change, and hopefully quite a lot of new or at least rarely visited locations. And in a future video, maybe in a couple of weeks, I'll explain to you all about that and what's happening and why things are changing and why I've done so much local stuff recently. But for now, I've decided to try and do something just a tiny bit different, and I've brought the fisheye lens out. It's a 7.5mm fisheye, and I've brought this out to try and get some kind of different shots of some of the, I don't know, buildings or architectural details or structures or anything else I can find just around the town to try and create some different images. I'm thinking probably black and white, but I remain open to the possibility of colour. But they will all be shot with the 7.5mm fisheye because it's the only lens I've brought with me. So I'm up at the local park at the moment. I'm going to start here and then start exploring some different areas. So let's go and see if we can find an image to shoot. Okay, we've got a possible shot here, kind of looking up one of the posts with the shape of this kind of trellis work or whatever it is. Now the sun is shining through, so I'm going to have to be really careful about flare. But if I can get the angle right, what I'm also trying to do is avoid having anything coming in from the sides that doesn't really fit. Yeah, kind of got a bit of a sun star going on there as well. Might need a little bit of cropping in. Try just a couple of different angles on it because I can. Probably that way. It's certainly different. The fun thing with the fisheye lens is it creates a totally different view of a scene compared to what you would normally see with your eyes or with any other lens. Any straight lines that aren't in the center of the frame get curved. Now that can look horrible, or it can look quite good depending on how you manage to shoot the image. The challenges with the fisheye lens are actually trying to get a composition that works. You normally have to get very close to your subject, and even then it can be difficult to avoid distracting elements coming in just because the field of view is so huge. And then we have to be really careful about lens flare. It's got a domed front glass or front element which will, you know, pick up flare really easily. So yeah, it produces some interesting challenges as well as hopefully some interesting images. Come down into one of the tram stations. This one kind of sits down between some walls, and I thought what I might do is some shots kind of along the tracks. Now I guess, you know, maybe an ideal scenario would be to make it symmetrical, get into the middle and shoot down, but I'm not going to do that. I mean, I probably could do it safely because I can see the lights which will tell me when the tram's coming, but honestly I don't think it sends the right message, and I could probably still get into trouble for doing it if I got caught. So I'm going to do some shots, maybe looking both ways, just to see what they look like. Obviously the extreme wide angle is going to really kind of stretch things out, and then I might hang around and see if there's a shot to be had when a tram comes through. I'm just not quite sure how long I'm going to have to wait for that. Anyway, let's see what we can get. It's warm today. Thinking kind of horizontal format, looking this way. We've got a lamp on the right hand side of the frame which curves in. I'm shooting at like 1/400th of a second, so yeah, I mean it's certainly different. Let's try the other way. The other way might be better. Yeah, I think the other way is better. It's kind of slightly more, slightly straighter. Put the exposure back a bit, 1/640th. Be careful, I don't want the sun in the top of the frame there. Coming through now. When I came out today, I kind of had visions of maybe photographing one of the bigger buildings here and doing one of these moody, high contrast black and white edits. But I haven't actually been able to find a composition that I like, and I'm not entirely convinced that this one's going to work either. There's a hotel here, the Hotel La Familia, and it's actually quite a imposing building, and it's black and white anyway. And I've kind of got a shot in mind because there's some trees up ahead, which with the super wide angle, if I go vertical, I'm getting those in. Normally I would say you need to get very close to a subject with something like the fisheye lens. But this shot I think might work. It's this huge view. I'm actually standing on top of a building, or standing part way up a building. The ground floor is a supermarket. There's some kind of like big vents and other bits and pieces, and then there's more buildings going out. I want to try and get in the centre of this pointy bit. I think it's going to work best. And line that up. Try and get a nice bit of symmetry in there. It's going to be slightly asymmetrical because the structures down below aren't completely symmetrical, and nor are the height of the buildings on either side, but we can't do much about that. You know what, I think that's the first time since I did the review of the fisheye lens that I've ever gone out specifically to shoot only with that lens. And I'm hoping I've got a few interesting images with it today. Now, the next video I suspect is going to be an early morning shoot somewhere, and the one after that will be some other kind of photo shoot, but also a channel update, because things are going to be changing. I'm quite excited about it, and I want to share that with you. So I hope you'll continue joining me for the upcoming videos. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, or if you've seen some of my other stuff and you like what you see, and you're new here and haven't hit subscribe yet, then make sure you hit that subscribe button before you go. If you've liked this video, well, likes and shares are always really appreciated. Don't forget to leave me a comment and let me know what you think of what I've been doing today. It only remains for me to say thank you very much for watching, and until the next video. Bye.